Prep update, 1 week out from the next show of the season, WMF Malaysia, and I'm excited. The 3 weeks between shows have been really difficult, not gonna lie. It's been much trickier than I thought, particularly from a hunger level. It's been really, really tricky. You know, we're just getting tighter and tighter. I think this is, conditioning wise, the best I've ever been, so really happy with that. The next stage is on. Just have to push through this week, get through the deplete, get through the peak, see what we can bring today. I'm really excited about that show. It'll be big. So I thought I'd do a little Q&A for this YouTube video, just to have something a little bit different. And to be fair, I'm surprised I've gone this long into the series without having to do a Q&A. I feel like that's normally the thing people do when they don't have any video ideas. So, first question, how do you feel going into the second show of the season? I feel good. I feel really accomplished. As I said, this is my best condition I've ever been, ever. That's a win. But also because of how Hong Kong shook out, I feel like weirdly there's some extra pressure, which is a bit of a strange thing to say, but yeah, I feel like there's almost a little bit of, shit, I came third in Hong Kong, now I'm more conditioned, I'm better than I was in Hong Kong. So there's pressure to place higher, but again, you can't control who shows up on the day. You might be in better condition, but 5 more absolute killers come through and then you're screwed. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited. I love getting on stage, so we're just gonna run it up, see how it goes. Question 2, any changes to peak week? Yes, so got that through yesterday. We're going to do more of a, basically more food and more of a linear load. Whereas before it was almost like a slight front load with a bit of a drop off towards show day. This is a linear load, so still a little bit high and then dropping away, but more flat. And I think that's going to be better because what we found was my best look was probably on the Saturday after a reasonably high, I had 500 carbs that day. You can go back and watch the vlog. Yeah, after the 500 gram carb day was I thought my best look between like fullness and sharpness. So it makes sense to try and do that again, try and replicate those conditions. So having a higher carb day right before show day. So yeah, some changes to the peak, but everything else will stay pretty much the same. Question 3, what were my lowest calories on prep? And this is an interesting one because I don't actually know, and that will sound insane because everyone knows, obviously you have to be in a calorie deficit, blah, blah, blah. Now, look, I know roughly the calories somewhere between 1600 and 1800 at their lowest, but I just have been following my meals. So say for example, at 8 weeks out, I had a meal with 70 grams of oats, and now it's down at 50. I've just been measuring the oats from 70 down to 50 and not actually tracking it in an app or anything like that. So yes, my food has come down, but I just do it by the amounts of food rather than the total calories. Couple of reasons for that. One reason is I really hate in prep when you're already food focused anyway, which we'll get onto. I hate playing macro Tetris, trying to fit things into your macros and play around with it and almost cheat it. That is a headache in itself. And then by having just the meals laid out, it kills any kind of decision fatigue. Like when I get in, I'm tired, I'm hungry, right, just make this meal. This is the meal I make, and that is it. So that's why I kind of stick with the meals. And if the quantities get reduced over the prep duration, the quantities get reduced over the prep duration. Question 4, the most challenging thing at this stage of prep? Honestly, the energy now. These last 3 weeks has been where going from like pretty lean to the leanest I've ever been, the level of low energy, heavy legs and hunger has been pretty extreme. So that's been one of the hardest things, just been getting through those days where blood sugar, I can feel my blood sugar is like in the tank and you're trying to like stay smiling for clients and things like that. Oh, so difficult. But yeah, that's been the hardest thing. The rest, I actually like training. I even like cardio because I can get in there, put the headphones in, play some music, reply to some emails, watch a podcast. Like, it's kind of fine. Cardio's okay. It's the just low energy day to day that is a huge bummer. And how is the food focus? I'll put a screenshot of my of my explore page right now. It's like all fried food. a little bit of K-pop, and a little bit of bodybuilding. That's where my life is at right now. Whereas normally it would be like mostly bodybuilding and K-pop. Food has taken over the explore page. I think that's about right. My food focus has got completely out of control. So yeah, that's going to be something that's going to be the next big challenge for me is going to be between Malaysia and WMBF Taiwan. So I have an 8-week gap, and that's doable, but going too far off the rails and getting too far down the food rabbit hole and trying to bring that back, even in 8 weeks, is really going to be... I'm looking forward to that challenge, actually. Looking forward to that challenge, massive. And final question, who is your favourite Better Late Than Single cast member? For sure, it's Jaden. If you haven't watched it, if you enjoyed Single Inferno, you will love this show. It's better than Single Inferno by a long stretch. He is so socially inexperienced, to be kind. It's baffling. It's not just that he hasn't spoken to a woman before, it's that he hasn't even spoken to a human being. It's really interesting to see. But at the same time, in that same breath, he's really endearing. Like, he's obviously trying, but he's just out of his depth. And it's quite staggering to watch. So, yeah, Jaden, if you haven't watched Better Late Than Single and you're in prep, you have like time to kill on cardio, definitely watch Better Late Than Single. It's so fucking good. Yeah, that will do it for this vlog. Another short one before a mammoth peak week and show day vlog. I'm at 95 subscribers at time of recording. If just 5 of you hit subscribe, I will be so happy to hit 100 before show 2. So please, if you've enjoyed this, if you've enjoyed the journey, do like and subscribe, leave a little comment, and I'll see you in peak week.